What's going on, everybody? LK here, and today I want to talk about the top 5 players that influenced me. Before I even go to these, this list was actually pretty hard to make. I want to give a couple quick shout outs to the homies, Dala and J Dala, you know who you are. Stickbug, I literally do not exist without Stickbug. I would need a whole video to talk about the GOAT. Also Czar the Biscuit, who really helped me very, very early in Belty Blood. These 3 groups of people just helped me out a lot. For number 5, it's actually Mewtwo King. Might sound random, but I played Super Smash Bros. Melee when I was in high school. That was my first competitive fighting game. Coincidentally, he lived really close to me, and at that time, right before he started blowing up as a player, people didn't really want to play with him, so I was like, I'll play with you.
Lucky's hitting some nutty recoveries, but Mewtwo King just one step ahead.
He set the baseline of how I play competitive fighters, like coming up with strategies, being patient, noticing certain tendencies, and I apply things I learned from him still to this day. And that was a very long time ago at this point. My number 4 is Cho. He's a top player in many games like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty Gear. He's a Persona Evo champion. He is the Japanese Blaze Blue, I believe, Continuum Shift 1 national champion with his teammate Tsuchikawa. This player has influenced me very greatly. He switched from New 13 in BBCT to my main Lychee in BBCS 1. I believe I leveled up so much because of him and studying his matches.
And now Korma is back. Here come the buckets.
Whoa!
Buckets mixes them up.
This is dangerous. Ooh. He's got it.
Just do it.
The
Sends it out.
spear.
And one thing he did that was really, really cool at the time, because information was not shared so readily, was that on the Japanese forums, he would actually have threads of just like, yeah, just ask me anything, I'll just answer your questions. And I learned so much about this player's mentality, how he builds strategy, tactics, getting ready for tournaments, all sorts of things from this player. Not only that, but if I had actually listened to this person, I would be one of the best Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players of all time, because he told me to play Morgan Doom Virgil, and I did not actually listen to him. I asked someone else, what do you think of this team? And they were like, that team is kind of capped. Maybe you should play Sea Viper. So you could tell his third eye is open. Like, he knows. He's truly a fighting game GOAT. I don't think people talk about him enough. He's in that category of Japanese player that like just is really, really good and people just don't know, despite being an Evo champion in Persona. For my third pick, another player that I believe does not receive enough flowers is Super Kawaii Desu. You probably know them as SKD though. From my era, best Blaze Blue and Persona 4 arena player in the US in my opinion. Because of his influence, I really learned how to not just push myself to my limit, but also push a character that I'm playing to their limit. Especially if you see like, oh man, LK's dropping a character, that's usually me feeling like I've put so much into a character and I don't think I could do much more, and I feel like I can't like accomplish my goals. SKD, I think he has the ability both to just develop characters to like an ungodly level of power, but then also his ability to use system mechanics in the game against people very quickly is also top class in my opinion.
Fortunately, wasn't able to finish the combo before he came back.
Yep, there it is.
Into Astral!
Second Astral delete.
Josh in!
Is he cold or
No, dude, he's on fire. That's what he is.
Really recent example would be in Strive. Quite literally one of the first people to use instant block was like SKD, when people were saying, this mechanic's too hard to use. Why is it 2 frames and not 8 frames now? Just find them to be really ahead of the game. And usually when I find myself in like a corner or dead end, I like think about like, what type of thing would SKD do? Like, what type of thing would I do to like try to push this character or use something that people aren't using or something like that. So this player was very, very, very influential on my playstyle. So for my number 2, it will be Wasik. I believe the battle planner for Street Fighter V. Also one of the best Guilty Gear players of all time, and in my opinion, the best melee player of all time. I know a lot of people know Wasik for like the, oh, what are you standing up for?
Not like this! What are you standing up for?
But he actually is such a ridiculous fighting game player. Like, he's so good. When I was learning Guilty Gear is a legacy game, so I started in Exerd. I'm getting like advice. I'm talking to like high-level NA players at the time, people who like, oh, you should do this, you should try this, you're not doing this. I got very frustrated after a few months because I was like, they're oversimplifying it. I don't think it's that simple. Like, you know, I learned these things from BB of like how technical and deep Arc Sys games are, and I just don't think this is the right way. And after having an especially disappointing performance at one tournament, I decided actually to, outside of a very small handful of NA players, ignore everyone's advice and only watch Wasik play for like 2 months. And then I won my first major in Guilty Gear Xrd. So like, he can take a game that seemingly has so many options and just filter everything into like, this is just what you do in this situation. Go back and watch Wasik play and you'll see. If you don't understand, you might have to like play a lot of Guilty Gear to get it, but like, he just refined this game like so well. And so for my number one, this is a player who has not been around for a while, but I'm sure many of you know him. I know he's influenced a lot of people as well, especially if you play Dragon Ball FighterZ. It would be NoKami.
14, Kubo with the up back, and this is where Goku Black, he really excels here with his grounded normals, the auto combo, he got it! NoKami brings it all the way back.
Oh my God, I'm sorry that I ever doubted you, my man. That was amazing. Kubo acknowledges it, even though there's some salt behind that. I would be salty as well. But look at this. This man look like he's running for president with the poses.
NoKami is my training partner, not only in Dragon Ball FighterZ, but also I met him during Guilty Gear Xrd. In NoKami's case, it's actually just a really simple thing. It's not stuff about like approaches to the game or like technicalities and stuff. It was just really helping me become more confident in my play and more confident in my decisions and being like, dude, like you could do it, you're good enough. That helped me out a lot. And in Dragon Ball FighterZ specifically, talking with him and working with him in Dragon Ball on teams helped a lot because I didn't really get what you're really supposed to do in a 3v3 game. I didn't play like Skullgirls or Marvel 2 or a lot of games that are considered like, honestly, core fighting games. So if you know like the end of my Dragon Ball history with like teams like Team Gohan GT SSJ or Gotenks Master Roshi Broly, a lot of that is from NoKami's influence. So I'm really thankful for that. So those are the 5 players that have influenced me the most. I'm really not here without them. Really appreciate them. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. They're putting out great stuff. If you want to find me in other places, you can find me on Twitch on most days at twitch.tv/Lordknight. I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about fighting games, Lordknight or at LordknightFGC. Also, you can find me on Twitter, just waffling about at LordknightBB.